Kensington Palace unveils shocking secret. At 08:42 BST on August 18, 2025, a communique lands in Parliament Square like an iceberg. Their Royal Highnesses have accepted an alternative residence on royal grounds. That's it, one sentence, dry, unemotional, but beneath it, a rupture. Kensington, their storied haven, the backdrop of christenings, portraits, and balcony waves, is no longer the setting. It's been eclipsed. You feel it in your bones. This isn't just relocation, it's a recalibration. Not optics adjustment, but fracture. A rupture by design. Brace yourself, the investigation starts now. Rewind to early 2024. A soft afternoon, the Lancaster room, ornate gold, dust particles dancing in light. Charles leans in, voice lowered. William needs space. This isn't enough. Reduced density of royal presence at Kensington. Optimized for security and accessibility. April 2nd, a whisper snakes through the corridors. The Cambridges want out. Not far, but quieter, off-grid. Royal aides spin it. Strategic dispersal. June 7, behind closed doors, William's voice cracks mid-sentence. We need somewhere that's ours, safe, on the knowledge of photogs. What began as architectural rumblings became something else entirely. After-hours surveys, confidential planning sessions, no announcement, no ceremony, just silence. Then flash forward to now. That one-sentence press release hits inboxes. But what pushed them to pull the trigger? What did they see coming? The dossier has answers, if you know how to read between redactions. Codename Echo Lodestar. No, not a spy op, just a middle-tier estate manager with frayed nerves and access to secrets. Inside, a proposal, plainly titled but loaded. Semi-autonomous dwelling within Crown Estate buffer zone. Security perimeter doubled. Kensington access rerouted. No formal redecoration. Leases reissued quietly. PR narrative prepping, new residence language. The code name for this hidden fortress, HMS Heritage. Not a ship, a shell. A title loaded with legacy and wrapped in secrecy. You almost admire the irony. Cloaking a new palace in naval disguise. HMS Heritage, now docking in silence. One spreadsheet lists line items, fencing, fiber optics, thermal imaging kits. Another tab just says media prep. Staff reassignments logged under initials only. June 2025, NDAs handed out like champagne flutes at a jubilee. This wasn't a renovation, it was a relocation under cloak, a quiet vanishing act. The dossier doesn't confirm where they've gone, but it does tell us why. And now we follow the evidence. The map doesn't lie, if you know where to look. Late July, survey logs show activity around Windsor's lesser-known corners. One marked Option C, a former guest annex, quiet, remote, out of sight. Metadata confirms it. Roof reinforcements, lighting rigs, thermal sensors, no royal crest, no flags, just silence above Baroque chimneys. This wasn't just a move, this was a separation of layers. No driver records, no security alerts, just late-night entries in silence. Midnight, 30th of July, staff report non-logo vans, pallets, sealed crates, matte black. No photographers, no official movement, just logistics in the dark. Not a move, a maneuver. Permits filed for trivial repairs, but dig deeper. Damp prevention is code for panic rooms. Refurbishment means reinforced walls. And the clincher? The same minute William entered the estate, unregistered. You exhale, because you see it now. Kensington hasn't just gone dark. It's been repurposed. A decoy, a distraction. August 6, 2025, 1411 BST Whitehall's Red Room. Doors sealed, phones off, windows shuttered. Officially, a strategic coordination meeting. Unofficially, a royal reckoning. Only one unsanitized sentence survives. A hot mic, near the sash window, never meant to be heard. You can't privatize perception, William. His tone, controlled, tired, but unmistakably firm. This isn't about optics, it's about survival. You can imagine it, every royal photo op has a war room behind it. But this was trench warfare. One heir, one king, one crown cracking. Translation? Keep up the Kensington illusion. But internally, shift the throne room. It wasn't a move. It was a palace coup, one corridor at a time. The first crack goes public. The Daily Verity runs a grainy shot, black vans, restricted zone, dusk. Caption, HMS Heritage arrival. By 10:17 a.m. Where are they trends globally? By noon, Sky News launches a live panel, Cambridge Cloister, Royal Transparency Crisis. The palace machine wakes up and hits DEFCON 3. Step 1, denial. Their Royal Highnesses remain committed to Kensington. Step 2, deflection. Kate appears at a children's hospice the next morning. Cameras capture every smile. Step 3, distraction. A press leak, Royal Christmas recipe book, scones, shortbread, and cinnamon diplomacy. A residence disappears and we get cookies. A local dog walker posts TikTok footage. A royal protection officer barks, "No filming!" It's clipped, stitched, memed. Viewed 3.1 million times in 48 hours. By August 5, 6 UK papers map the hidden estate. 2 US outlets publish architectural overlays. 1 BBC panelist drops the hammer. This isn't privacy, it's obfuscation dressed in velvet. A junior press officer leaks a chat log, allegedly overheard during a gown fitting. We need to stop performing Kensington. Let it sleep. And with that, the narrative slips through their fingers. Because in a world ruled by perception, control is an illusion, and the monarchy just lost it. August 7th, 2025, 1946 BST. An emergency session of the Privy Council is convened. Agenda: reallocation of public designated royal residences. It sounds procedural. It isn't. A motion is tabled that slices through centuries of royal discretion. Translation: if William and Kate dipped into public funds for HMS Heritage, they owe the public every pound, down to the penny. Meanwhile, the Treasury launches a parallel probe. Soft expenditures, gray budgets, things that don't show up on spreadsheets until they do. The palace runs on ceremony, but Parliament runs on precedent and budget lines. Caught off guard, Charles moves to soothe the waters. A gesture of unity, a statement from the throne. But the silence that preceded it, it's louder. Because the public heard it first. Inside the palace, aides receive quiet orders. Sanitize all outbound communication. Leaks vanish, phones go dark. But the damage is done. The illusion of continuity? Cracked. Now, a question hangs heavier than any crown. Who decides where royalty resides? And who pays publicly or in silence for that decision? It's a PR strike, surgical. Kate is filmed planting forget-me-nots with children. William walks with veterans at a Norfolk memorial. The palace becomes a theater. The stage is Kensington. The script is simplicity. And every frame is filtered for grace. But here's the tell. No cameras near HMS Heritage. No footage, no drone flyovers. No guided tours, no Google pin. The new estate doesn't exist in media. Only in absence. Only in what's missing. They're reanimating a symbol, not as a home, but as a decoy. It's choreography. Royal pageantry as a smokescreen. But the spell doesn't land like it used to. Royal Parks reports a 28% dip in Kensington visitation. Souvenir vendors cite tourist disinterest. Guidebooks footnote a quiet fact. A private tea is held, carefully choreographed. Photos approved, smiles locked in. But illusions flicker. And once the public sees the curtain being pulled, no amount of rose gardens or ribbon cutting will rebuild what's been quietly dismantled. Credibility. August 11, 2025, 0922 BST. A backbencher from Devon speaks, quiet, unassuming. But the motion anything but soft. A dry name, a devastating premise. Clause 2A. Residences funded in part or full by public money must disclose. Purpose. Inhabitants. Duration of occupancy. Security allocation. Clause 5. Royal relocation exceeding £500,000 must undergo public disclosure within 60 days. The gloves are off. Royal privilege is now legislative target practice. The bill doesn't pass, not yet. But something else ignites. For 1,000 years, the royals controlled the narrative. Now the audience demands the script. Even inside the palace, they feel it. In other words, the more they hide, the less they're wanted. For the first time in decades, where royals live isn't just tradition. It's a matter of national policy. It premieres on Channel 5. No royal approval, no Kensington rebuttal. Just 42 minutes of expose. Within 48 hours, 2.7 million views. Comment sections burn. So much for transparency. I loved Kate, but this feels dishonest. If they want privacy, they should live privately. A poll shows a 43% dip in favorable opinion of William in under a week. The Silent Palace. Satirists get to work. One viral sketch. William sneaking into HMS Heritage in a trench coat and sunglasses. But under the memes, a mood shift. They used to be ours. Now it feels like they left. But we're still here. That's not a soundbite. That's a cultural verdict. Kensington stands silent. No cars, no footmen. Just pigeons, tourists, and wind brushing against stone that remembers. They haven't stayed overnight in weeks. Inside, the laughter is gone. The rooms are staged. The windows dressed for cameras, not for children. Security still mans the gates. But they're guarding a symbol. Not residents. Kensington has become a showroom. A shell, a set piece in a story no longer being lived. Across the Thames, the new estate glows quietly. No access, no press, no fanfare. Analysts whisper, this isn't a residence. It's an estate. But the public? They're not watching anymore. Instagram metrics fall. Fan pages go dormant. PR saturation gives way to PR fatigue. They built a palace no one asked to see, and a legacy no one asked to explain. The fairy tale didn't collapse. It just slipped into silence. Kensington Palace sleeps. No cars, no carriages, no children's laughter, only pigeons, and wind pressing against ancient stone. They haven't stayed overnight in weeks. Lights go on, but no one's home. The hallways echo. The rooms are dressed, but untouched. Chandeliers shine for no one. Portraits look out over no ceremony. Security still mans the gates, but not for residents, for the memory of what was once inside. Across the Thames, the real residence glows softly behind tinted glass. No photos, no access, no addresses, only whispers. Analysts say this isn't a home. It's an estate built for absence. Public interest fades. Instagram mentions drop. Fan accounts fall silent. Even pageantry has an expiration date. They built a palace no one asked to see, and a legacy no one asked to explain. The fairy tale didn't shatter. It simply slipped into stillness. The monarchy doesn't endure by divine right. It survives by contract, cultural, invisible, but binding. Appear, serve, symbolize. That's the exchange. And when that contract frays, it doesn't break with scandal. It buckles with silence. Kensington's dormancy isn't scandalous. Royals move, privacy matters. But deception? That's different. We are above explanation. Message sent. Then you are beneath accountability. Message received. MPs debate. Petitions circulate. A new phrase enters the national lexicon. Ghost royals. Kate, once the modern stabilizer, now seen as architect of retreat. William walks in silence, shadowed not by scandal, but by withdrawal. The press doesn't shout treason, but the undertone is clear. This isn't just a location shift. It's a referendum, not on royalty itself, but on relevance. In an era where every wall has a drone overhead, where every document leaks, where every closed door becomes a question, what is a royal image truly worth? A closed door doesn't conceal anymore. It accuses. What began as a quiet relocation ended as a rupture across a centuries-old institution. Not a scandal of affairs, not a financial disaster, just absence. The monarchy didn't lie. They simply left. But in that departure, they abandoned something deeper than property. They abandoned a contract, unspoken but binding. The public never demanded perfection, only truth, and perhaps humility. You were never supposed to know about HMS Heritage. You weren't meant to notice Kensington go dim. But you did. And now the illusion can't be rebuilt. One day the children will inherit more than land or titles. They will inherit this moment, the day the crown chose silence. And the people answered, noted. Transparency is the last heirloom left to give. You were never supposed to know about HMS Heritage. You weren't meant to notice Kensington go dim. But you did. And now the illusion can't be rebuilt. One day the children will inherit more than land or titles. They will inherit this moment, the day the crown chose silence. And the people answered, we noticed. No protest, no press conference, just absence. And the echo it leaves behind. Transparency is the last heirloom left to give.